Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Just want to get on here for a few minutes to talk about what I'm convinced that they don't want to see the black man and the black woman together. You know, they've created this rift between the black man and the black woman. Well, to this point, we can't get along to save ourselves. You know, we're so busy fighting each other that we're leaving the children unprotected and ill-equipped to function in this world. It reminds me of when I was married, and you know, no matter what I did, you know, my ex-wife just tried to make it difficult for me to have a good relationship with my children. You know, and I never understood it because I didn't do anything to her. You know, she would, badmouth me to my kids, try to down me in front of the kids. You know, I didn't understand it. I didn't deserve it because I wasn't the one that did anything wrong in the marriage. You know, I did. I may not have done things right, but I did my best, and I take full responsibility. For the marriage not working. So through that experience, I'm just convinced. I'm just convinced that we just can't get along. The black man and black woman just can't get along, and that's sad because we're not. As long as we're fighting each other, we're not going to get anywhere. They're pitting the female against the male, and then the ultimate loser is the kids, the children of that relationship. It's our job as parents to better equip our kids to function as productive, normal individuals. Some of the kids now they just can't function. They can't do anything for themselves. The boys can't change a tire. Don't know anything about their emotions, all out of whack. They too overly sensitive. They can't think for themselves. They can't do for themselves. You got some of them ain't that 30, 40 years old, ain't even left the house yet. They still over there with their mom. Because their mama have crippled them to the point where they ain't no good to nobody. We as parents, we're supposed to be preparing our children to be somebody's husband. The daughters will be somebody's wife. And all we've done is just made grown kids that can't think for themselves. The females are taught to expect a man to do all this for them, but they're not taught how to treat a man. And the sons, they ill-equipped too. So you got the boys, they overly sensitive. They don't know how to solve their problems without getting themselves upset, beating on the girl, or going out there They don't know they don't have no conflict resolution skills, so they automatically think, if somebody disrespect them, they automatically go get a gun, go get a gun, and think that's going to solve a problem. That's not going to solve a problem. That's creating more problems. Because if you go out here and kill that man, you in jail and he's dead, and y'all ain't solved nothing, ain't solved a thing. But created fatherless homes because you done killed a father, and then if you got kids, you going to prison. So you got guys got to learn how to think before they react. You can't be in a relationship with a woman and you beating on her all the time with your hands, and then at night you want to hold her with them same hands you just got through whooping her ass with. You sending mixed signals. If you truly love that woman, or if that woman truly love that man, her ultimate goal is his and her ultimate goal should be to do what's better for that relationship, to build that relationship up, to build that family up. You will want to do better than what your parents did. You don't want to be just like your parents. You want to do better than your parents. Use what they taught you and add to it. Improve your life. Don't be just like your parents. No one should have more respect than no other person. You should have no other respect for another person before your husband or your wife. No pastor should have more respect from you than you have for your husband. You never put your pastor before your husband. You'll cook for your pastor, but you won't cook for your husband. And same thing for the husband. Husband will cook for his mama, then he won't cook for his wife. Relationships, i.e. marriages, take work. You got to be willing to work. You got to be committed to see that relationship succeed by any means necessary. You shouldn't be afraid to build your spouse up. You shouldn't be afraid to show your spouse that you love them. You shouldn't be afraid to acknowledge your spouse. Some of you should, y'all hide your spouse. You got jobs, your folks don't even know you married because you don't even talk about your spouse. You can't want to be married and don't want to take everything that comes with marriage. You want the wedding, but you don't want the marriage. You want the wedding to show people that you got married. You spend 20 or 30. It's like in a marriage. You spend the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You spending $20,000 or $30,000 on a wedding, and you going back after the wedding. You going back to an apartment. I don't think nobody should spend that much money on a wedding. That $20,000 could have been down payment on the house. Spouses. If somebody truly love you, they won't allow you to do anything that foolish. Because after it's said and done, that $20,000 is gone. And then what if that marriage don't last but 6 months? You know, y'all don't throw away $20,000. You know, but you know that's y'all. You know, I wouldn't have. Yeah, I didn't get married. I got married at the courthouse, and I saved that money. I got married at the courthouse, and that was the best decision I ever made because it didn't work out. I ain't lose but $40. That's it. You know, and also society has lied to each of us about each other. You know, they created the division between us. So we have to overcome that. Study history, see what the tactics they use to keep us divided, and we need to learn from it. Because in order for us to survive, we have to start finding ways that we can overcome this and start working together. Our kids deserve to see their parents loving each other, treating each other with respect, and overcoming stuff, making their lives better. Because our kids deserve well-mannered, civilized parents. We too old. We too old to be the marriage is over with, but you still fighting each other. Every chance you get, you down in the mother of your kids. You can't say that you love her if you talking bad about her. There come a time where you overlook that. You forgive, make peace, and you move on. You 60, 70 years old, and you still holding a grudge with your ex-wife and ex-husband. That's over with. If you truly moved on, let that stuff go. It's not beneficial to nobody. She made mistakes, you made mistakes. So you can't throw her mistakes in her face and then not expect for your mistakes to be thrown up in your face. If you want better, hold yourself accountable for the pain that you inflicted in the relationship. Don't be afraid to hold yourself accountable. Accept accountability, move on. Your kids deserve better. Like I said, the most important people in a marriage are once that marriage is dissolved, you divorced, the most important people are those children. They don't need to be seeing y'all fighting all the time. It's just like when I was in my marriage. You know, I didn't want to be arguing every time I come around. We in an argument. No. You know, I had to go to counseling. I got me some counseling, and so I can better, you know, be a better father to my kid. Because I knew, you know, me dating, you know, that wasn't the end of me dating. You know, I was going to eventually find somebody, you know, I wanted to be with. So I went and got some therapy. And I'm proud to say I got some therapy. It helped me out. I'm not ashamed of it. Hell, I'm better for somebody else. I ain't holding no grudges. Like I said, we must start rebuilding our relationships and how we feel towards each other. There's no way that we can expect to become the great people that we are if we are unwilling to do better, because our kids deserve better. Now, you know, if you don't want to improve yourself, you just want to just keep going through life hating your baby mama or hating your baby daddy, that's on you. Because you ain't hurt nobody but yourself. in those kids. Because, you know, kids tend to emulate their parents. You know, so we have to do better. Like, share, subscribe to this channel. My name is Percy Collins, and this is an episode of It's Just Percy Podcast. Good night.